The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu cha Jamii. I'm your host Eunice Mugo. Today on the show we are going to talk about online writing. Are you an online writer? How do you find your clients? What are the content that you deliver to your clients? What are the challenges, advantages, and disadvantages on the same? Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. I'm not alone. I have a guest who is going to help us to understand better on online writing. I will allow him to introduce himself. Welcome, guest.
Hello everyone, I'm Lichina Jerry, and I also take part in online writing for a couple of years, and also have a team that usually work together.
Welcome on the show, Jerry.
Thank you.
Maybe to start with, online writing is something that has been there, and actually it's on the rise in the market today. A lot of young people are doing online writing. What is online writing and how do you find your clients?
Good. Online writing is basically doing tasks, I can say not physically on paper, but through a medium of channel whereby you are just being contracted to do a certain task for monetary value. Mm-hmm. So online writing basically, it comes across whereby we have this Western world. Most of them, as you can see, maybe in their economy and are based on our economy. So it usually comes all about when, I'll say them clients rather than students. They have tasks which in a way or another, or in one or two reasons, they are unable to tackle that in a certain given time. So they contract someone who has the same knowledge and he or she is in the same capacity to handle the same task. So for some monetary value, they are given the task to do it. We found our clients through different platforms. We have platforms that have come up to help these people who have the content to write and who have the tasks to be done. So they display their content or what they're able to offer. And once a client arises, he or she is able to take up the tasks based on the agreed payment. Yeah.
Nice. So when you're talking to clients, what is you and your team specialized in? Do you have specific clients targets that you have, or you're just a wide variety of everyone?
Now in online writing, in a layman's language, I'll use contracting and subcontracting. So we have these two groups, and I'll start with contractor. A contracted person in online business is a person who has the website or the avenue to get the clients. So no matter your area of specialization you are in, you are able to get all sorts of work. And once you get all sorts of work, now we have the subcontractors who are coming in. Now these subcontractors, now they've ventured into specific subjects, whereby they are the one now to take up the tasks. So for example, personally, I have this account. So this account, I receive an economics question. I'm an engineer by profession. So I am not able to tackle this economic task. So what do I do? Now I subcontract this person who has done economics, who has only ventured into economics. So I'm being paid to do the work. So and also I do subcontraction. So once I'm paid, and I now relay the same agreed amount of payment to the person I subcontracted.
How do you conduct now the research? Now that you've mentioned about the contractor and subcontractor, how do you conduct your research if you're the one who has been given the job and you want to subcontract it to someone else? How do you sit down and do the research on the same, now knowing it's Jerry who is the contractor, I'm supposed to subcontract person X. Is this person going to deliver best to what my client is expecting or better than what my client is expecting? How do you do your research on the same?
That's where the academic qualifications come in. Yes, because I don't want to lose this client, I don't want to lose money, so I'll take it to the utmost seriousness. So for you, if you're doing economics, you'll have to prove to me that you're doing economics. And how are you able to prove to me? I don't know economics, I only know about engineering. So you'll come with your papers and tell me this is what I've been doing in terms of economics. So I'm able to do this task. And then also the clients have to verify the mode of work done before you're paid. If it aligns with what they wanted to do, well and good. If it doesn't align with what you're supposed to do, the work is reverted and you have to do it again. Yeah.
So if the work that have been given doesn't value the value of the client, we have different clients. Maybe that one that you've mentioned is one category of client who will say, redo it. Do you have other clients who say like, I'm not going to pay for these services? And what is the grading or the criteria that the client used to see that whatever you've delivered is up to expectation or beyond expectations?
Well, when you say online writing, we have these clients that will be like, I won't pay you. Why? I failed. You didn't deliver the quality that I wanted. I didn't get the score that I wanted. So for the verification, most writing firms, they usually pay you after 2 weeks. So if I do a job today, I'll be paid after 2 weeks. Why? We need to have this client satisfied. Because you are the client, I'm the recipient. I'm the one to get the job. So you task me an engineering project or question that I have to do. I only have 36 or 48 hours to accomplish the work. I do it within that stipulated time, I return it to you. But now, where we met, there's a medium of money exchange where it's called escrow. Escrow is a place whereby you've given me the work, I'll say I've received the work and the payment agreed, then you'll send that payment to a certain medium. So this certain medium will withhold the money for the next 2 weeks or less. So once it withholds for the 2 weeks, I will have done the work and reverted to you. So you have 2 weeks to go through the work and ensure it is certain. Because after 2 weeks, if you won't give any response, the money will be directly sent to my account. So if it will be like, if you raise any other issue towards the work, I'll have to redo it and return it to you. Until the day you'll be satisfied, that's the day I'll be paid. So it is usually working on a 50-50 equal measures of work and payment. Because we've had some instances, we call them DC direct clients. You get a direct client, he gives you a mega project worth thousands of shillings. And then once you've delivered, because you didn't have an escrow or a medium of like a middle channel where I would say, let's have this money here, so that I know that this money will be paid to me once I've done the work. But now you come and find that once you get this direct client, you do what he wants, and then once the client is satisfied, the client runs away. That's a loss to you. So through these writing firms, you're able to know how to control and also how to earn better. Yeah.
On the same, maybe that this client you've said working with a direct client and this one that you have a medium of being paid, is the medium able to analyze, or is just a medium just to place the document and the amount? And also to add it on that, right now we're in the digital era and space. We are doing a lot of we're having a lot of apps coming up that are aiding us in terms of research and having things done or moving around. Are these applications are not in a position to do the same task that the online writers are doing, or what is the catch for me as a client not to opt to go for the research online, but rather contract you to do the job for me?
Good question. Yes, there are the apps. They're there. The apps are there to help you work out. But there are also apps which are able to detect how you did the work. They're able to detect which app you used to get the work. That's why they have no option to look for human brain to do it. So yes, we have the likes of OpenAI, Play Background. They're able to help you. They're able to answer your questions. But once you display the work, it's able to detect and clearly tell you where you got the work. And that becomes an examination malpractice.
So when you're saying examinational malpractice, that is all, it's fraud and it's illegal. So how do you make sure that the content that you've given me as your client, I'm not able to share it with someone else? Or is it now upon me, if I want to share it with my friend, with my classmate, I can decide, and for them they are not going to pay. So if I decide to sell the same work that you've sent to me, to my classmates, is there a way that you monitor or check to see that if this work it's an agreement between you and client A, then client A is not going to sell the same information to client B to Z?
I'd say this is like buying a consumer good from the supermarket. If you buy that packet of flour, if you decide to cook ugali with it, it's up to you. If you decide to go cook porridge with it, it's up to you. As long as we've gotten what you wanted, you've gotten what you wanted. So that extra thing that you're going to do with that content that you have, it becomes none of our business. Yeah.
Okay. So when you are doing all this, is it only a contract between you, the client? Are they only students, or do you have companies who want your expertise to do things to do with research that they do? They have to do presentation on the same. What are the kind of clients do you get? Is it only based on education, just writing in terms of assignment or any other project that involves schools? Or do you have corporate people asking for help when it comes to project research and analysis in terms of coming to do presentation at work?
Now, those are two different things. We have online writing and online jobs. So online writing is basically for academic purposes. Online jobs is basically for monetary purposes. We monetize online writing because we feel like it is power and time which is being used to generate the knowledge. And online jobs, with it being the job, online job, so what's happening is you'll have to pay for the knowledge.
Now my question is, now let me ask you, how would you tell that the assignment I've given you, it's for job or it's for school? Because again, if I have a project and maybe, for example, I'm an intern at this farm and I need to do a project on ABC, and maybe I don't have the time, or maybe I have other errands or something that is just making me not be able to do that task at that given time. How do you tell the difference between now this being a school project 100% and now this also being a school stroke job associated project?
It's because most of the farms, they usually have a stipulated contract. The jobs, they usually have a stipulated contract. But for the writing, there's nothing stipulated because it's a one-time thing. Once you give me this job, I finish it, you pay me, we're done. But you get to find these other jobs, you're being paid consistently with the same person, and it can be at a given duration of time. It could be weekly, monthly, quarterly. So you come to find in online writing, if you give me a certain job and I finish and we are done, if you're to give me another one, we have to set another agreement between me and you. And I can get others. So I'm not depending on you. So we can't have a formal contract with you because it's something that it will just for a short period of time. But most online jobs, they tend to be a long thing.
Okay. How do you do your follow-ups now? There's a time you'll hear people saying that business is down, you're not having jobs to do online, and there is a time you'll hear we're at a peak season, you're having a lot of assignments. How do you deal with that? Or how do you know that we are on season or off season, and how to balance?
That is good. Just by following up the different academic calendars of different regions. The Western regions, they have a different avenues and different ways of knowing their calendars. One, by getting to know, like there's a period, like you're able to tell these clients, most of them, they're from Australia, they're from USA, they're from Canada, they're from Japan. So you're able to, if you're able to follow up the school calendars, you'll know that at such a time, for this duration of time, I won't be able to get jobs from this certain time because they're on holiday. Because when they're on holiday, there's nothing to do in terms of academics. Yeah, so by following up their calendar, you're able to tell. Yeah.
And now from a client side, how can I as a client be able to assess and know that if I am contracting you as your company or you as Jerry, I'm able to be guaranteed that the services I want are going to be 100%, no disappointment? Do you have like ratings after you have submitted your work where I can rate you and say it's a 5-star? Rate you, say it's 0, whatever you give me, it's shady. Rate you, give you a 3, it's a good 50-50. Do you have such things, or how do you go about it?
The accounts, I can say the intermediaries, they have a system of evaluating us and ensuring that we meet the threshold of being given the work. You have to undergo an assessment test, and you have to pass in order for you to be inducted, to be part of them, for you to receive the work.
Okay, and how do you keep your clients updated on the progress of, maybe let's say I've given you an assignment to do in a week's time? Is there a way that I can monitor at back end to see how far that you're coming with the project, or is it just a matter of trusting and leaving it all up to you, as long as by the time I've told you you deliver, it's delivered or not?
We have a chatting platform whereby I can update you and on how much I've done, and also we have avenues of other communications, and people also stoop down to WhatsApp and maybe these other modes of communication. So I'm able to update you each and every day and tell you, hey, I got to this point, I've done this, and that's good.
So what are the challenges for online writing?
Getting the accounts. That's a big challenge because they are very, very strict, and they are like, you have to attain this certain threshold, even at 0.01% down the line, and you're disqualified because they expect you to be at your level best, and you have to, like, everything has to go on as expected. That's a big challenge. Number 2, clients not paying up, and you can get a frustrating client. This client, you did the work, everything was okay, but the client keeps on postponing and telling you didn't do the work. Just the client wants to frustrate you. And there's nothing to that. You did the work, you went, they said the work, he passed very well, and he just wants to frustrate you. Yeah. And then the other challenge usually faced is the mode of withdrawal. using these Western avenues of withdrawing money. They at sometimes they're being stiff on our end. So we have to undergo some other processes before we have our money on our end also. So it becomes also a bit challenging.
Now that you've mentioned about accounts being a challenge, and you're having a lot of youth coming up and wanting to do online writing, wanting to acquire an account, maybe you can take us briefly. What are the things that you are expected to deliver for you to be able to have an account? Because is it an application where you just go give in your details, they have to verify, or what is the criteria for one to acquire an account?
Number one, the criteria for if you want to get a good and working account, number one, you have to identify what you want to go and venture in. You only have a chance of taking one item of the one that you want to venture in. So what will happen is, first you'll have also to identify yourself by filling in your details, and also prove proof that you're a human being. That's by keying in your identification documents. And then that's the verification part. And then you usually have the assessment part. You are being evaluated based on the documents that you've given us. Are you able to do this task? Can you do this task and give it to us? Let's evaluate you and see how good you are. So once you're able to pass those two major stages, you're good to go.
Now, maybe another question I'd want to add on top of that. Now, it is me, I'm giving out information on the line of academic thing that I want to follow. Let's say I'm doing nursing, and I have also, I maybe be not, how do I put it? Let's say I've not finished my exam or qualified 100%, but now I have someone else who is more qualified when you talk about papers presentation. Maybe present names and document for person X, but yet I'm not that person. How do you verify that if I'm handling Jerry, it's Jerry 100%, and it's not Eunice who is hiding behind Jerry's account? How do I tell as a client or as the person who is verifying the account that this one is Jerry 100% and this one is not Eunice hiding behind Jerry's account? Before you answer that, let's just take a quick break. Viewer, I hope you're learning as much as I am about online writing. Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be right back.